I'd like to say hello and welcome back to Calling the World. I had a bit of a hiatus from this because I had to do other things. But people have been asking me about the names that I showed you the last time in the last episode and how they come into the story. I tried to explain it at the time and maybe didn't explain it that well, but I'll show you how they were involved and what they said in a document and what was actually said. Now, what we've been going through has been horrendous on both of us, my wife especially. My wife's diabetic, as previously said. We went through a lot at the hands of these people. Why? Why all this? Over a bit of land. Inaccurate information from them. That's what you've got to ask yourself. Why all this? And this was only one part of it. There's three parts. You've got the creeper coming up and abusing us. Racially abusing us, shouting, swearing, calling us all the names under the sun. But he's a good person. He's a photographer. He wrote a book. That's like turning around and saying Harold Shipman was a good doctor. Look him up. He wasn't. The creeper, how the locals call him, is exactly what he is. A creep. Not a nice person. He'll do anything in his power to make your life a misery, and has done so for his own gain. Now, what would that gain be? Like I've said before, we bought a piece of land, 15 acres. You'll see it behind me there. And around, if this follows me, around there. 15 acres. There you are. Back again. So the 15 acres he used to use, he used to go on at any time he wanted, as well as other people. But this property is private land. It always has been private land for a long, long time. For decades. Over 40 years. The creeper has been creeping about here on private property. Why? Because there was no one to stop him. He can do as he pleases. But there's fences up there. He can't do what he needs to do. He doesn't like that. The creeper's one of these people who doesn't like getting told what to do. So he went out his way to make our lives hell. And one way was through the council. The other one was through Lower Murray Water. I'll get to that part of the story. But the other part of this creeper is Crooked Hillary, his niece, who is now a part of government. She run as an independent with the help of the Labour government. I'll show you the documentations and what we had to do to try to rectify it. Right? Now this will show you roughly what they stated, but they left a lot of the actual facts out. Why? Because they knew it was wrong. They've known it's wrong from the start, but they keep maintaining it, keep going on it. We should have been out of here before Christmas 2017. We were waiting on the documentation coming through for the shed, which they never gave us. That has been mentioned in previous episodes to this. So if you want to see that, go back and have a look. But I'll switch you over, I'll show you the names of the cabal, or parts of the cabal. There's more to this cabal and these people. These are puppets. The puppet master controls it all. She pulls the strings to what's going on with the help of the creeper, who is one of the lowest people I have ever known. Why would you do this to people? Why? The only reason he was doing this was to get his own way. That's what was going on. He was wanting his own way, so he made sure that he would get it with the help of his niece, Crooked Hillary. She's been named that well from the locals. Used to be a lawyer Then she moved on from that and she set her eyes on higher places in society. She first was on the council in Mildura. I say the Mildura rules city, but it's not, it's a town. They like to call it a city, so let's adhere to that and we'll say, right, it's a city. So that's what we go by. So I'll change over to this and I'll show you the names again just to familiarise the people who's involved in this part of the story. This is a big story. Everything goes against your human rights. We have got a right to exist, we've got a right to be here, and we've got a right to live. This is all getting taken away from us, from these people. So I'll switch it around and let you see their names once more. There you are. Ricky Rowe, he was the first one up there. Matthew Jackson, Joanna Robinson, David Sutton, Mark Yanton. These all players. I'll show you documentation, what we received from them over the time. And you tell me if that's correct, the correct way to treat people. So I'll move on from here and I'll start showing you some of the documentation. And if you look through it, you'll see what it says. Now this part of the document, if you have a look at there, this is what he stated. On Thursday the 16th of November 2017. This is what he put. This is what's in the document. And as you see, these documents were released under the Freedom of Information. And this is what he stated. Right. Now if I'm bringing this in, this is what we sent out. That was on Sunday, January the 14th. We sent that out because we had been waiting for so long to get the documentation on the shed so that we could sell it. We had already got a buyer to purchase the land and the shed, the property. All we needed was a certificate stating that the shed was now legal. This is what we wrote. As you can look through that. Now you see that there, my wife said it was outrageous for Ricky Rowe to ask us to inform him who our seller agent was. This conversation was precise because I had just come out of the shower and I don't use the phone near my head. I always put it on the speakerphone or earplugs. So the phone was on speakerphone as this conversation was getting carried out. Now you'll see where Donna, my father, is 87 years old. Now, no matter how you put it, we should have been gone. We should have been with my father-in-law, my wife's father, helping him in his life. This is supposed to be a first world country, yet these things happen here. This was all kept quiet. Everywhere we turned, people who asked for help were sent packing or told to go somewhere else because they wouldn't want to handle it. This is against our human rights to keep us here. We have done no wrong. We have got to sell this property to move on. We cannot just get up and leave what the creeper wants, what the council want, and leave the property to go back the way it was. That's what they want. And we're here to pay the price for it. Because the creeper wants to come onto this land again. Tell me what you think. And if you like this video, please ring that bell and tell me. There it is again. I think it's outrageous the way we've been treated for this so long. We're going away into 2020. And we're still here because of these stupid people. We've asked to go to the court, a VCAT court. We filled the form in and we're supposed to go there. We're still waiting. All these months, still waiting. So you tell me if that's correct. The Australian people are good people This land is beautiful, I showed you some of it. But these people who are committing this crime against us, which is a crime, should lose their jobs. They shouldn't be allowed to do this to people. This is not the Dark Ages. This is the 21st century. All we want to do is sell our property and go home. That's it. How easy could that be? But at every turn, they've stopped us doing that, knowing that we want to go home and look after my wife's parent. It's sad. It's a sad state of affairs. But they get away with it because they keep it quiet. Nothing gets out of Mildura. Thanks for listening to me babble on about this, but it means a lot to us. If you could subscribe to our channel and keep up to date with this, because I'll keep on with it. I'll keep the fight going. Because these people should never win. These people shouldn't even have jobs, human rights. We actually asked them, human rights, to actually stand up for us. They're a bit too late. It's a 6-month period if you're racially abused or racial hatred. So you've got a time limit on the hatred now. Whether it's going on, still going on or not. But I'll tell you the rest of the story. As I said, there's 3 parts to it. Once I'm finished with these names on this board, Ricky Rowe is the first one. And this is what he's capable of. He obviously left all of this out, all this information out from that little paragraph there. There it is there, to make it clear. Sorry for going so long and digressing away from it, but I hope to see you soon. I'll post more videos on this subject and more on the names of individuals that are members of a cabal that operates within Mildura. Thanks and bye.